The Divine Aura, a personal manual for cultivating a life of faith, strength, wisdom, and presence. By Patrick. Thank you for allowing me to walk beside you today. Before we begin, I ask only one thing. Do not listen to this audiobook while trying to become someone else. Listen to discover the person you were created to become. There is a difference. Every person leaves an invisible impression upon the lives they touch. Some leave behind fear. Some leave confusion. Some bring pressure into every room they enter. But a few leave something greater. They carry a quiet strength that calms the people around them. They possess wisdom that guides without demanding attention. Their integrity earns trust. Their compassion inspires others to become better. Their presence brings peace, confidence, and hope. They may not be the wealthiest people in the room. They may not be the strongest, the most educated, or the most powerful. They do not need to announce their importance. They do not need to prove their worth. Yet, there is something about them that cannot be explained by appearance alone. Their lives carry a quiet light. That quiet light is what this audiobook calls the Divine Aura. The Divine Aura is not a mystical force. It is not a supernatural ability. It is not an image created to attract admiration. It is the quiet influence of a life shaped by faith, truth, humility, discipline, wisdom, courage, compassion, and love. It is the visible effect of an invisible transformation. It appears when your inner life and your outer actions begin to agree, when your words reflect your principles, when your strength is used to protect rather than intimidate, when your success makes you more generous rather than more proud, when your faith becomes visible through the way you live. The world spends billions teaching people how to appear successful. Very little time is spent teaching us how to become genuinely good. We learn how to build careers, but not always how to build character. We learn how to gain influence, but not always how to use it wisely. We learn how to earn a living, but rarely how to live well. Perhaps that is why some people achieve everything they once dreamed of, only to discover an emptiness they never expected. They built a reputation, but neglected their soul. They developed their talents, but abandoned their character. They became known by many people, but no longer recognized the person in the mirror. The Divine Aura offers another path, a path toward a peaceful mind, an unshakable spirit, a disciplined body, a wise intellect, a compassionate heart, courageous leadership, humble confidence, a life of integrity, and a legacy that continues long after we are gone. This presence cannot be purchased. It cannot be inherited. It cannot be manufactured through appearance. And it cannot be imitated for very long. It must be cultivated. Slowly, faithfully, one decision at a time, one habit at a time, one act of kindness, one moment of courage, one honest confession, one forgiven mistake, one ordinary day lived with extraordinary intention. Like a great tree, it begins with a seed. Like a cathedral, it begins with a single stone. Like trust, it is built through countless moments of consistency. This audiobook is not merely something to hear once and forget. It is a personal manual to practice every day. Return to it in the morning for direction. Reflect upon it in the evening for accountability. Allow its principles to challenge you, refine you, and accompany you throughout your life. This journey will not teach you how to become better than someone else. It will teach you how to become better than the person you were yesterday. Because greatness is not measured by how brightly you shine. Greatness is measured by how much light your life brings to others. If you're searching for shortcuts, this audiobook may disappoint you. If you are searching only for quick motivation, its lessons may seem demanding. But if you are searching for a better way to live, a deeper way to lead, a wiser way to love, and a more faithful way to serve God and those entrusted to your care, then perhaps this journey was meant for you. Throughout this audiobook, you will encounter one question again and again. It is a simple question, but it may become one of the most important questions of your life. Who am I becoming? Not tomorrow, not someday. Today, because every decision quietly shapes the answer. Welcome to the divine aura. Our journey begins now. Preparation. Music softens. Before we begin the first lesson, I invite you to prepare your heart. Not merely your notebook, not your schedule, not your list of goals. Your heart. Take one slow breath. Pause. Breathe in peace. Pause. Release the pressure you have carried into this moment. Pause. Allow your mind to become still. There is no race here. There is no competition. There is no comparison. You do not need to impress anyone. You do not need to defend yourself. You do not need to pretend that you already have every answer. Transformation begins when we become honest enough to admit that there are still parts of us that need to grow. As you listen, resist the temptation to think only about other people. Do not say, "I wish my friend would hear this. I wish my spouse would change. I wish my employees understood this. I wish my children would follow this lesson." Instead, ask yourself, what is this chapter trying to teach me? What must I recognize within myself? What must I change? That kind of honesty can transform a life. The greatest changes rarely begin with dramatic moments. They usually begin quietly. A new habit, a different response, a kinder word, a better decision, a sincere apology, a temptation resisted, a responsibility accepted, a prayer whispered when no one else is listening. Never underestimate small beginnings. A mighty oak begins as a tiny seed. A cathedral begins with one stone. A meaningful life begins with one faithful decision. Today can be that decision. Let us begin. Chapter 1. The Man in the Mirror. Several years ago, I heard a story that has never left me. An elderly craftsman had spent more than 50 years building beautiful furniture by hand. His workshop was filled with the evidence of a lifetime devoted to mastery. There were heavy wooden tables marked by decades of work. Polished chisels rested carefully along the wall. Old saws hung above shelves filled with unfinished pieces. The air carried the scent of timber, dust, and oil. Every chair, table, and cabinet that left the workshop carried the unmistakable touch of the master's hands. One afternoon, a young apprentice watched him work. The old man moved slowly, but every movement had purpose. There was no wasted motion, no impatience, no desire to impress, only discipline, only attention, only respect for the work before him. The apprentice finally asked, "Master, what is the most important tool in your workshop?" The young man expected him to point toward one of the expensive saws, perhaps the polished chisels, or the heavy workbench that had served him faithfully for decades. Instead, the old craftsman placed his tools down. He wiped the dust from his hands and walked slowly toward the workshop door. There, hanging quietly on the wall, was a small mirror. The craftsman pointed toward it. "This," he said. The apprentice looked confused. "A mirror." The old man nodded. "Every morning, before I begin my work, I look into this mirror and ask myself one question." The apprentice stepped closer. "What question?" The old craftsman looked at his reflection. Then he said, "Am I building furniture today? Or am I building myself?" The apprentice laughed softly. "I do not understand." The old craftsman returned to his workbench and picked up a rough block of wood. He ran his hand over its uneven surface. "Every cut I make teaches me patience." He began sanding the wood carefully. "Every mistake teaches me humility." He measured the board once. Then he measured it again. "Every careful decision teaches me discipline." He pointed toward an old table in the corner. "One day that table will break." He looked toward the chairs lined against the wall. "Those chairs will grow old." Then he slowly looked around the workshop that had sheltered his labor for half a century. "Even this workshop will eventually disappear." He turned toward the apprentice. "But the person I become while building these things, that remains with me forever." The apprentice became silent. For the first time, he understood that the furniture had never been the master's greatest creation. The master's greatest creation was the person he had become while building it. Perhaps life is much the same. We believe we are building businesses, careers, homes, reputations, relationships, families, dreams. But while we are building these things, something else is being built. We are. Every meeting shapes us. Every responsibility shapes us. Every friendship shapes us. Every success reveals us. Every disappointment tests us. Every victory gives us an opportunity to practice humility. Every failure gives us an opportunity to develop wisdom. Every ordinary day quietly contributes to the person we are becoming. Life is always building something within us. The only question is whether we are participating in that construction consciously, or allowing ourselves to be shaped without direction. Most people ask, how can I become more successful? Few stop to ask, what kind of person will success make me? Many ask, how can I become richer? Few ask, will wealth make me more generous? Many ask, how can I become powerful? Few ask, will I use that power to serve or to control? Many ask, how can I become respected? Few ask, am I becoming worthy of respect? We often measure our lives by what we have achieved. God looks more deeply. He sees the heart behind the achievement, the intention behind the generosity, the truth behind the reputation, the private life behind the public image. The divine aura begins here, not with appearance, not with achievement, not with recognition. It begins with character. Character is who you are after the applause has ended. Character is what remains when titles disappear. Character is the decision to tell the truth when lying would be easier. It is doing what is right when no one would discover what you had done wrong. It is remaining humble after success. It is remaining hopeful after disappointment. It is accepting responsibility instead of searching for someone to blame. It is choosing kindness when anger feels justified. It is controlling your strength when you possess the power to cause harm. It is keeping your promises, even when keeping them becomes inconvenient. Character is not formed in one grand moment. It is formed through thousands of private decisions. A person does not suddenly become trustworthy when a great responsibility arrives. Trustworthiness is built through small responsibilities honored over many years. A person does not suddenly become courageous when a crisis appears. Courage is developed whenever fear is faced without surrendering what is right. A person does not suddenly become humble after achieving success. Humility is practiced whenever we remember that our gifts, opportunities, strength, and life itself are blessings from God. People may forget what you owned. They may forget the position you held. They may forget the size of your house, the brand of your clothing, or the number written in your bank account. They may even forget the exact words you spoke, but they rarely forget how your life made them feel. Did your presence bring peace or pressure? Did people feel safe telling you the truth? Or did they fear your reaction? Did your words bring healing or wounds? Did your strength protect or intimidate? Did your leadership help others rise or make them feel small? Did your success inspire generosity or pride? Did your faith make you more compassionate or more judgmental? These answers reveal far more than any resume ever could. There is an important difference between reputation and character. Reputation is what people believe about you. Character is what God knows about you. Reputation can be managed. Character must be cultivated. Reputation depends upon being seen. Character is formed when no one is watching. A person may appear strong while secretly being controlled by anger. A person may appear confident while being driven by insecurity. A person may appear generous while giving only to receive recognition. A person may speak about faith while refusing to forgive. The divine aura cannot grow where the inner life and the outer image are constantly at war. Peaceful presence begins with inner alignment. Your beliefs, your words, your decisions, and your behavior must gradually become one. This does not require perfection. No human being is without weakness. No person completes this journey without mistakes. But it does require honesty. It requires the courage to see yourself clearly. It requires the humility to admit where change is necessary. It requires the faith to believe that God can transform what you are willing to surrender. That is why the first tool of transformation is not a sword. It is not a crown. It is not wealth, influence, or intelligence. The first tool is a mirror. A mirror does not condemn you. It reveals you. It shows what is present so that you may decide what must be changed. But there's another kind of mirror, the mirror of conscience. This mirror does not show your face. It reveals your motives. It asks questions that success cannot answer. Why am I pursuing this goal? Why did I speak that way? Why do I need to be praised? Why am I unwilling to forgive? Why do I become angry when I am corrected? Why do I treat powerful people differently from those who can do nothing for me? Why do I want others to see my strength? What weakness am I trying to hide? These questions may feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is not always an enemy. Sometimes discomfort is the doorway to growth. The divine aura begins when we stop running from the truth about ourselves, not because we hate who we are, but because we respect who God is calling us to become. Imagine standing before a mirror at the end of your life. Behind you are all the years you were given, all the opportunities, all the victories, all the mistakes, all the relationships, all the people who trusted you, all the moments when you could have chosen pride or humility, anger or patience, fear or courage, selfishness or love. What would matter most in that final reflection? Would it be how much you accumulated or how much goodness you gave? Would it be how many people obeyed you, or how many people became stronger because you guided them? Would it be the image you protected, or the integrity you preserved? Would it be how loudly your name was praised, or how faithfully your life honored God? Your legacy is not only what you leave behind, your legacy is what your life leaves inside other people. The courage you awakened in your children, the confidence you gave to someone who doubted themselves, the hope you restored in a person who was struggling, the dignity you showed to someone the world ignored, the forgiveness you offered when revenge would have been easier, the example you gave when no one expected you to do the right thing. This is how a divine aura is formed, not through one grand display, but through a life of faithful presence. So, before this chapter ends, I invite you to stand before the mirror. Not only the mirror hanging upon your wall, but the mirror within your conscience. Look honestly, look patiently, look without excuses, then ask yourself, who am I becoming? Not who do people think I am? Not who do I hope to appear to be? Not who will I become when life becomes easier? Ask, who am I becoming today? Who am I becoming when no one is watching? Who am I becoming when I'm disappointed? Who am I becoming when I am praised? Who am I becoming when I possess power? Who am I becoming when someone challenges me? Who am I becoming when I have the opportunity to help someone who cannot repay me? Your honest answer is not a final judgment, it is a beginning. Whatever weakness you recognize today can become tomorrow's strength. Whatever mistake you confess can become a source of wisdom. Whatever pride you surrender can make room for humility. Whatever pain you place before God can become compassion for someone else. You are not imprisoned by the person you have been. Through faith, discipline, repentance, and grace, you can participate in the creation of the person you are meant to become. The old craftsman understood this. The furniture was temporary. The character formed through his labor was eternal. Your work matters. Your responsibilities matter. Your goals matter. But the person you become while pursuing them matters even more. Because one day, the business may belong to someone else. The house may shelter another family. The possessions may be divided. The titles may be forgotten. But the faith you practiced, the wisdom you shared, the courage you demonstrated, the humility you embodied, and the love you gave will continue through the people whose lives you touched. The divine aura does not begin with changing the world. It begins by allowing God to transform the world within you. Tomorrow, we will continue our journey, but today, begin with the mirror. Stand before it with courage. Look beyond appearance. Look beyond accomplishments. Look beyond the identity the world has given you. And remember this personal commitment. Become the light you hope others will find, not by seeking admiration, but by living with unwavering faith, wisdom, humility, courage, and love, not for recognition, not for power, but for the glory of God and for the good of those entrusted to your care. Who are you becoming? The answer begins today.